Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now listen, before I start, I knew I put those shelves up above my bed for a reason. Like, look at this setup. How cute. I literally feel like such a YouTuber right now. This setup is everything. I'm so buzzy, look. Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Anyway, this is just gonna be a really chilled, chatty video. I literally always have a cup of tea, like you should know me by now. This is a really cute mug, these are my favourites. You gotta have a big one, haven't you, really, when you have a tea, and this is why I've chosen this one. So yeah, grab your tea, make yourself comfy, and let's get into this travel Q&A. Now, I know how highly requested this video has been and I'm finally getting round to filming it, so I hope you guys find this useful and informative. You guys actually asked some really good questions. Initially, I was a little bit worried that they would all be about money, and obviously not everybody likes to completely open up about money. I personally don't like to speak about it a lot. I don't mind answering the questions like generally, but they're not going to be personal. Like, I'm not going to literally sit here and reel off exactly what I paid for this, exactly what I saved for this, blah blah blah. And I hope you guys can appreciate that. I'm just very private in that aspect. But yeah, I'm literally just going to dive straight into it because obviously you've clicked on the video for a reason. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to bore you guys with chatting at the start for too long. So I'm just going to go down and find the questions that you guys asked and start answering. Okay, so these answers are going to basically be based around our travels in Asia, our travels around America, and also a little bit about Dubai too, because I've actually got quite a lot of questions on Dubai, which I didn't expect because we weren't there for too long. But yeah, more than happy to answer anything you guys want to know. So these first few questions that I've seen are actually about Dubai, so I'm going to go ahead and answer these now. What was the name of the place you stayed in Dubai? It looked to have a great view. Now, we actually ended up staying in 2 different hotels, so I'm not entirely sure which one you mean by this question, but I'll give you both hotels just so you can have a look. So the first hotel we stayed at in Dubai was called the 5 Jumeirah Village. This is the sister hotel to the 5 Palm, which is very well known. It's just literally like less than a third of the price, but you still get access to the private beach at the 5 and all of that, so would definitely recommend staying there. The only thing is about that hotel is it is a little bit out of the way. I did explain this in my Dubai vlog, so if you have any questions or you want to know more about Dubai, then go over to my Dubai vlog and I hopefully will clear things up there. So this question, yeah, it would either have been the 5 Jumeirah Village, or the second hotel we stayed at was called the Amwaj Rotana, and this was on the JBR walk. This was an amazing location. The view was amazing there as well, so I think this could have been the one that you were talking about in this question. So I will link both of the hotels down below so you can have a little look, and hopefully that answered that question for you. What was it like for choice of outfits in Dubai? Were you careful what you wore? Yes, I was a little careful about what I wore. It's also not half as strict as it's made out to be, or like maybe from what you've heard, it's not as bad as what you think. You're very aware of the way that other people dress there, and you also very much respect their culture and their religion, and I would never want to feel uncomfortable myself, and I also wouldn't want to make anybody else feel uncomfortable. So it's kind of just natural to dress a little bit different. Like, I don't actually think it is against the law to have your legs out or your shoulders out. It also completely depends on where you are. You can get a sense of what you should and shouldn't be wearing in the kind of places that you are. Like, obviously on the beach you're more than fine to be in a skimpy bikini, but it's more like when you're walking down the main streets or when you're in the malls, that's more when you'd cover up slightly. You just you pick up on it. Like, you just take stuff that you can chuck over your shoulders. Like, you could take like a zip up hoodie, take a good few pairs of trousers just so like your legs are covered in the more busy areas. But yeah, I hope that helped. That was like not explained very well, but I just feel like it's not as bad as you've probably read or heard about. In Dubai, did you have to be careful with the whole not being married? Again, no, this wasn't something that we felt like we had to be conscious of. I feel like maybe 10-20 years ago, yes. But as they welcome tourists in with open arms, they're definitely gonna expect to have people come over from the UK or wherever it may be who aren't married, like couples and stuff. So they definitely do not mind this. You also don't need to hide the fact that you're not married. I think it's just kind of like a known thing out there now that a lot of couples that come from the UK are not going to be married. They don't show any sign of disrespect to you. Like, the staff are the most amazing people. They could not be any more accommodating or any more kind. So yeah, they would never judge you for it, and you definitely don't feel like you're breaking some kind of crazy law for walking around with your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever it may be, if you're not married. So no, you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so those were the questions about Dubai covered. I'm now going to get into probably LA and USA, because that's the next question that I can see on here. So, tips for choosing an Airbnb, favourite place you've been and why, and how bad is traffic in LA? Right, that's like 3 questions in one. I didn't really think that through when I was reading that. Tips for choosing an Airbnb, super hosts, just because there's like, you know that they're legit, you know that people have relied on them before, they've had plenty of people stay with them before. Again, just maybe look out for reviews on location and also how helpful the host is, like, because if you've got any questions, then it's really handy if they can get back to you really quickly. So yeah, that'd be my main tip for Airbnb. I'm not going to ramble on too much about that. Favorite place you've been and why is almost impossible to answer. Like, it is so hard to pinpoint my favorite place from where I've been, like, because everywhere has been so different, you can't even compare. If you had asked me this last year, I would have hands down easily said LA, but I feel like since experiencing new places and visiting new places, I don't know, I've got so many places that I love, and it's so hard to answer that. I loved everything about Asia. I loved Malaysia in particular. Again, we loved Dubai, and the USA as a whole. I just feel like that will always have such a special place in my heart. Like, I feel at home in America. I have this feeling about it that I love. So I'm so sorry, it's so hard to answer that question. How bad is traffic in LA? In general, it's not too bad. It's just rush hour. I would say like mid-afternoon to dinner time, you're looking at tripling the amount of time it takes to get from one place to the other. Like, I remember we were coming back from Malibu Beach and we drove down at like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and as we headed back at about 7-8 o'clock, I can't really remember, but it literally tripled in time. Like, it took us about 25 minutes to get there, and then to do the exact same journey on the way back, it took an hour and 15. Like, it is literally crazy how it changes at like certain times of the day. But yeah, definitely be aware of this if you visit. Just keep it in the back of your mind that it may take longer than expected to get to places in LA. Now, LA food recommendations. So 100% go to Earth Cafe for breakfast or lunch. It's not only the food, it's like the whole vibe there is so LA. You literally feel like you could run into a famous person every time you go, just because of the vibe there. Like, it's got a really nice atmosphere, and yeah, the staff are friendly and the menu is massive. They've got juices, coffee, like definitely try that for breakfast or lunch. Now I'm also gonna be such a tourist and say the Cheesecake Factory, especially the Cheesecake Factory at the Grove. There's something about it, like honestly, I love that place. The menu is just huge, like you're not short of options. The restaurant is huge. The atmosphere is so good in there. I would just definitely recommend it. If you're from the UK and haven't tried the Cheesecake Factory, America is the place to do that. Okay, this is a hard one. Disney or Universal in LA? We only have time for one and can't decide. Love your vids, by the way. Thank you so much for watching my videos. This is hard. They only have time for one and can't decide. So I would personally say Universal, just because you get that kind of like magical feeling that you would get at Disney World. But Universal is basically like Disney World for adults. Like I say, it has that magic to it, and if you love films, you will literally be like in heaven there. Like it is so much fun. I think I would have to go with Universal over Disney. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on that. Okay, so the next question I got is how much and what did you plan before leaving for Asia? Now, I don't know if I covered this in any of my Asia vlogs, but we are the most last minute, unorganized people you'll meet. And the only thing that we actually planned before going to Asia was the flight and the hotel for the first week, and that was literally all we had booked. I would 100% recommend to not book anything. Like, do not pre-book anything, because you never know what is going to happen on the way. As in, that sounded really morbid, like not in that way, as in you don't know who you're going to meet and you don't know what suggestions you're going to get from other people who are out there at the same time as you. So I think having anything pre-booked would put almost a pressure on it as well if you're going for a long time. Like we were there for 3 months. So if you're going for a while, I would definitely say just go with the flow. Like that is the best bit of advice I could give you for Asia. You're gonna meet people out there and you're gonna speak to people out there who can give you suggestions on where to go after you're here, where to go after that, or you've got to check out that island when you're here, and all of this. So if you had anything pre-booked, I'd just worry that you wouldn't get to experience the other stuff that people recommend to you because you have to make something else, if that makes sense. So yeah, don't book, don't plan. It's just the best way to do it. You're gonna have the best experience by doing it that way. Another question I got was, what jobs did you do to afford and how to find new ones in between traveling, etc. So I'm not gonna talk too much about this, but me and Brad are both in hospitality, and I feel like this is an easy way to pick up work in between being away and being home. So again, it completely depends on where you're at in your life. If you've got a job that you are really tied down to, then I'd maybe make sure you're choosing the right time to leave that job, and make sure you could probably have something to fall back on when you get home. You have got to think about it, because obviously money is the reason we get to experience these things. Yeah, even if in between traveling you pick up a job that you don't really love, but you're literally just doing it to get the shifts in, get the money for the next time you jet off. Like, yeah, that's all I can really say on it. I've realised I've actually been filming for a really long time, so I think I'm gonna make this the last question, and it's quite a nice one to end with. But it's, how did you deal with being away from home? Anybody that knows me knows I am a home bird through and through. I love being at home, I love my family, and I love spending time with them, and it's really hard for me to be away from them just because we are all really close. And I also understand how lucky I am to have that. All I would say is that when you're away, what is 2 months out of your life? Even what is a year out of your life? Like, yes, it's hard leaving, and that initial first few days is hard and you miss them a lot, but once you're there and once you're out experiencing things and once you're in the swing of it all, they're literally a FaceTime call away, and it really does feel like you've seen them after speaking to them on FaceTime. I don't know how people would have done it back in the day where like they literally could not contact their family or friends. Like, it baffles me. Yeah, FaceTime is a savior, but yeah, also they would want you to go and enjoy yourself and go and experience all of that stuff, and that's what I've had to tell myself. Like, do you know what, I am doing such an amazing thing, and yes, it's hard being away, but at the same time I'm coming back. Like, it's not forever, and yeah, they're literally a FaceTime call away. Pets, on the other hand, that's hard. I miss my dog so much when I'm away, like it is a joke, and that is because you can't talk to your pet on FaceTime. Like, the only connection you and your pet have is you stroking them and touching them, and you can't do that when you're away. So other than that, you'll be fine. Like, literally the first time you do it, you'll be like, do you know what was I so worried about? You've got to do what you want to do, go for it, experience life, get out of your hometown for a little bit, and yeah, see the world. Anyway, I am gonna wrap this video up here because I have literally been babbling on for so long, and I'm sure you're all bored of my voice by now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope I've answered all of your questions. If not, I'll do another one. Like, I feel like I could talk forever on this topic, and I love giving you advice because I want you guys to have the best time if you ever do it and if you ever travel. So yeah, I'll definitely do another video if there's questions that I didn't answer. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to every single person that sent in a question. I appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you enjoy watching my videos. It would mean everything to me. And yeah, I'll be back in the next few days with a new video. Bye!